What's up guys, it's Azai here, and today I'll be going over pilot skills. Pilot skills are one of the most complicated yet game-changing aspects of war robots, so much so that knowing what to pick and what not to pick can decide the outcome of a battle before it even starts. While this system allows for a lot of customization, making mistakes can be costly, and a skill that's incredible on one robot might be completely useless on another one. Enough introduction, let's get right into it. Hey guys, it's Editing Adazai here, and I realized I forgot a couple things. First, I want to let you guys know that I've got a creator code. If you make any purchases on the Warbots web shop, you can use code Adazahi to support the channel. Second of all, there's a subset of skills that I completely neglected to mention throughout this entire guide, and that is the Titan, tiny boost skills. They're called Hot Head and something like that. That's just one that I remember, where they'll basically do something like increase your damage and your durability by 2% or something like that. Basically, all I have to say about those skills is they suck and you usually shouldn't take them. That's all. Enjoy the video. The skills in this category are simple. They give a constant, non-conditional boost to a stat of your robot. I'll be splitting these skills into two groups. The first is the universal ones for all robots, which are Master Gunsmith, Armor Expert, and Roadhog. The second are the more specific ones that are only available on some robots and boost their special abilities. These are Suppressor, True Ace, Energy Shield Expert, Crazy Electrician, Physical Shield Expert, and Destroyer. I'll get this out of the way. The skills from the second group are almost always great picks for whatever robot they're available for. They give significant boosts to important parts of your robot, making them valuable choices. There are some exceptions though, such as Destroyer, which isn't worth it for robots whose built-in weapons don't do a lot of damage, like Nightingale. And Physical or Energy Shield Expert, which aren't worth it for robots whose shields aren't that durable, like Revenant or Typhon. As for the first group of skills, these ones are a bit more complicated depending on what you're using. On robots, Master Gunsmith is usually a low priority skill because it grants only a 5% boost to damage. You should only always take it on a robot that basically wants damage and nothing else, such as Crisis. Roadhog and Armor Expert, however, are a lot more universal, granting 15% boosts to their respective stats of speed and durability. Roadhog is usually worth it on most bots, whereas Armor Expert is worth it on all tank bots and most average durability bots, but not super light scout bots like Lynx. On Titans, these skills all become a little less valuable since the Titan versions give even smaller boosts. 5% for Gunsmith, 6% for Armor, and 10% for Roadhog. In this case, Roadhog is the only somewhat universally good skills since Titans can use some of that speed, whereas the other two should only be used on Titans who really want to get every bit of durability or damage they can get. This category only has two skills, Mechanic and Wonder Worker. Mechanic makes your robot constantly regenerate, and Wonder Worker makes your robot heal a chunk of damage every time it uses its ability. For robots, these skills can be extremely valuable as supplemental healing. If you're already running repair amplifiers or spamming unstable conduit to heal, these skills aren't really that important, but there are some exceptions. For example, if your robot has some way to mitigate gray damage, like Revenant for example, Mechanic and Wonder Worker can be valuable even if you already have a lot of healing. Wonder Worker in particular can also be pretty valuable when used on a robot with a short ability cooldown. For Titans, these skills get a ton of value, since Titans really want to have constant healing going on due to how much health they have. Mechanic especially, almost every Titan should equip it, but Wonder Worker remains a bit niche, with its best use case on abilities with quick cooldowns. There's two groups of skills in this category, the Adamant skills and the Raider skills. The Adamant skills are active when the enemy has 3 or more beacons, and they are Adamant Gunsmith, Adamant Mechanic, Adamant Roadhog, and Adamant Guardian. The Raider skills activate for 30 seconds after taking a beacon, and they are Raider Gunsmith, Invulnerable Raider, Raider Mechanic, and Ninja. For robots, even though their stat boosts are really significant, these skills are very niche and should rarely be picked, especially if you play TDM or FFA because they won't activate at all in those modes. That being said, for fast beacon capper robots like a Mugi or Skyros, Ninja and Adamant Roadhog can actually be quite viable because they'll make you really fast, which is all you really need as a beacon capper. Other fast robots that simultaneously deal high damage while running beacons, such as Lynx, can make use out of Adamant or Raider Gunsmith. But since tanks don't really run beacons, the healing and defensive beacon-based skills kinda lack a niche. Unfortunately for Titans, these skills are just completely useless and you should really never pick them because they don't have significantly improved stat boosts. There's a bug with T1 Raider Mechanic though on Titans, which makes it heal you a ton whenever you take a beacon. So that could be somewhat useful if you happen to randomly roll it and you're low on Memoriam. This whole group of skills is really easy to cross off. They're Bounty Hunter, Wise Opportunist, and Cunning Opportunist. They either give you a damage boost, a speed boost, or defense points for 5 seconds after a kill. Simply put, whether it's robots or titans, these just suck. Don't use them. They don't last nearly long enough to be worthwhile, and the condition of getting a kill is too much for what you get. These skills give you a significant boost to one stat at the cost of reduction to another stat. They are Survivor, Customization Adept, Hoplite, Thrill Seeker, Cautious Pilot, Tough Guy, Spy, and Scout. For robots, they're almost always worth it depending on what skill they give. A tank robot, for example, will happily trade a little bit of its speed, shield durability, or damage for even more durability. A scout will trade anything for speed, and a damage dealer will trade anything for damage. When it comes to titans though, things change significantly. The titan versions of these skills trade off a lot more than their robot counterparts. The tough guy skill, which is really popular on robots, isn't worth it on titans because it costs way too much damage. If you need durability, Cautious Pilot is a better trade-off since you lose speed instead. Thrill Seeker and Survivor are usually worthwhile, but you may want to avoid Thrill Seeker on a tank titan who really needs durability. Scout and Spy have limited use cases, and I can't really think of any titan that wants speed more than it wants damage or durability. Even the speedy titans like Minos and Eiffel, they prefer durability or damage. As for the physical shield skills, since durability is more important than shield durability, you want to avoid Hoplite and take out Customization Adept. However, that mostly just applies to Rook. If you're playing Arthur for some reason, who has really low durability but super high shield durability, Hoplite might actually be the better choice. The skills in this category are Defense Expert, Engine Expert, and Ferocious Guardian. Robots can only pick one of these skills, not all of them. In general, choosing at least one of these for your robot is basically a given because they give you a good stat boost with the only requirement being to use your ability, which you're going to be doing anyway. For most robots, the one you pick just depends on what the robot wants. A high damage robot wants damage, a tank wants defense, and a scout wants speed. You get the idea. However, in the case of Defense Expert and Engine Expert, there are some extreme exceptions, and I see people make these mistakes all the time. First of all, if your robot already gives you a ton of defense points, like Leech or Ao Guang, Defense Expert is just a completely useless skill. You shouldn't use it. As for Engine Expert, this can be an absolute game changer skill that brings a robot to a whole different level because it currently has a bug with legendary pilots. Basically, it will make your robot way faster than it should if you have a legendary pilot that gives you a speed boost as the legendary skill. I have no idea why this happens, but put simply, if a robot has a pilot that gives you a speed boost and Engine Expert is available, it's basically a requirement that you use the pilot with that skill because you are so fast it's unreal. Some examples of robots with this interaction are Seraph with the Victoria pilot, Revenant with the Roberto pilot, and Leech with the Thomas pilot. For Titans, the expert skills still remain great options. Titans get to pick 2 out of the 3 rather than 1 out of 3, and on top of that, they can pick them for each of their 2 skills. Generally, Ferocious Guardian and Defense Expert are going to be the best choices here. Depending on the Titan ability in question, you might want to take one or both of them. For example, Rook would get value from both skills, but you wouldn't want Defense Expert on Bedweir's shield since, well, you already have a shield up, you don't need defense points. Engine Expert is also not really recommended for several reasons. As I said in the trade-off section, Titans usually don't really want speed more than they want durability or damage, but more importantly, Engine Expert is for some reason incompatible with just a standard Roadhog skill on Titans, which makes it pointless because Roadhog does the same thing but doesn't require you to activate your ability, and also there's no bug for the Titan speed. Hey guys, this is Editing Arazahi. Again, I know. Sorry. I've been working on this video over the course of many months, and it's just gotten really long. And there's just so many pilot skills. I'm currently during finals week, so I just don't have the time to finish the video. So I've decided I'm going to try to split it into 2 parts. I will try to upload a part 2 in the coming weeks because it will be summer vacation and I'll have time. Here is the completed tier list of pilot skills thus far. Again, remember there's still a good few that we haven't gone over just yet. Stay tuned. If you're watching this in the future, look in the description below and I will have a link to part 2 if it has been uploaded. As always, thanks for watching.